everyone, this is Deborah. Today's going to be a really interesting video. I'll let you know what's happened in the last 24 hours. First thing is, when I got off work, I went to get some eggs. I wanted to make some potato salad. While I went to the egg department at Food Lion, this other lady was standing there. We were both looking into the case, and there was no eggs. And I'm thinking, my God, how many eggs can a person eat? So the egg hoarders have attacked our little town. That makes me mad, because a lot of essential workers have to work. And when we do get off, we would like to at least find some essentials like eggs or toilet paper. Well, nowhere to be found. Okay. So I recently heard that there's somebody on the main drag stopping any cars that have out-of-state tags or just any car, and he's accosting them saying, what is your business in town? You don't want to come in here. Everybody's got the virus. I think the police were called, but whatever. Nobody in my town has the virus. Nobody. Okay. But I also think that a lot of people don't know they have the virus because there's no tests around here. I don't even know where they would be testing. So a lot of people are panicking and they're acting like asses. I actually got a racial slur thrown at me last night, and I was in shock. So this is what they called me. A Latino chick, okay? Now this is going to surprise you. This came from a woman, okay? A man should never refer to a woman as a chick. That's a no-no. And especially not another woman calling another woman a chick. Now, I'm really fooling a lot of people in town because I've had blonde hair for the last 4.5 years, and then I went back to my natural hair color. So I guess she was wondering, you know, who I was, and she thought I was new. Honey, I ain't new, darling. So this is how it evolved. She came up to the counter and she said she's been on hold for 2 hours. And I said, yes, that's true. You're going to be on hold for 2 hours. We are operating on a skeleton staff. I said, ma'am, if you want to get, you know, your meds, I suggest that you come into the store and stand in line. And she goes, no, we're not supposed to. And I corrected her. I said, yes, ma'am, you're allowed to go get your medicine. You're allowed to go to the gas station. You're allowed to go to the Food Lion. And she gave me this peculiar look. So my manager was standing like right there. So as the woman left the scene, I kind of covered my hand and talked to one of the other associates. And I said, my God, I can't believe these people don't understand that they can leave the house. And she heard me. She was only maybe 12, 15 feet away, but she heard me. And I even muffled my voice with my hand. So I know she was listening on purpose. So she goes up to the front counter and she tells one of my associates, who knows everybody in town, says, who's the new Latino chick in the pharmacy? Of course, this associate knows this woman very well. So, I am not Latino, okay? And there's nothing wrong with being Latino. But the fact that she used it in a derogatory manner, then I take it as a racial slur. I think this woman drinks vinegar when she gets home. She's full of vinegar. I turned around to my manager and the other associates in the pharmacy, and I said, if I got any nicer, I'd be spitting sugar. I would. I bite my tongue so much sometimes it's bleeding. I've been told I'm the only one that can deal with these customers who just want to complain. What is the big deal? There's nothing else to do in town, people. There's nothing. Our town now is on lockdown. It's on lockdown. You can't even go to the beach now. You can't go to the parks. Nothing. They don't want anybody coming into town that does not reside here. They don't want any of these vacationers to come down, you know, what do they call them? I guess, I don't know. I think some weekenders can get away with it, but I don't even know about that. But I think everybody's panicking too much. They don't want you coming down here and vacationing, coming from New York or somewhere else and bringing something to our town because there's nothing, nobody here is sick. Okay, so let's talk about things my mother taught me, okay? When I was first married, she would often confront these high schoolers who were smoking cigarettes and drinking beer, and she would really make a big scene. It was kind of embarrassing, but if you knew my mother, you were used to it, okay? So, and this is what she'd say. She'd walk right up to them and said, listen, 30 years from now, you're going to have a limp noodle. Yes, this is what she would say. And I kept doubting her. I go, no, that ain't going to happen. Well, honey, it happens. These guys that are on drugs and they've smoked all their lives, honey, they have issues. I think my last fiance, he smoked his whole life and he was definitely on some drugs. Let me tell you what, you cease to perform in the bedroom. My mother was right, okay? It does damage. It does damage slowly over time. You won't notice it, but your woman in your life will notice. Oh my God. So, yeah, you know, and a woman can only stand so much humping, right? You know, then we want to throw your ass off, right? Okay. So, yeah, my mother taught me that. My mother also taught me the most important thing in life is having a roof over your head. I have learned I don't want a car payment. You know, if you got nice cars, but no place to live, you'll be living in your car. Yeah. My granddaughter was even homeless for a while. It was pretty much her choice, but she was homeless. So she knows the value of having a roof over your head. And when you lose things like that, you know, during the recession back in 2008 and 2009, people learned back then how important it is to have a home. I lost a couple homes myself. I lost my summer home and my winter home, you know. I still had another home, but, you know, everybody went through terrible times back then. So, let's see. Yeah, my mother, you know, was a very smart woman. She let us all know what to look out for, and she was letting the whole community know too. So, let's see. What else can we talk about? I'm getting ready to go to work. I'm covering for some other girl. We don't know what's up with that. I heard she has a headache. Oh, and the problem I had yesterday, if you watched yesterday's video, has been resolved. That's not an issue anymore. I'm fine. I feel wonderful. I still have plenty of food, and I have a full tank of gas. Just no eggs, people. Oh my God. People come in and ask constantly, do you have alcohol? You know, I tell them, if you take the aloe vera, pure aloe vera, not the one with the lidocaine, mix it with 91% alcohol. If you can find the alcohol, you'll be fine. You know, if worse comes to worse, someone even told me witch hazel or hydrogen peroxide. And I do know that if you take a cap full of Clorox and mix it in with, you know, a bucket of water, that is a great disinfectant. That's actually how restaurants disinfect their surfaces and their facilities. So also, the customers are getting smart. They are going to the first aid section and picking up the little box with all the little individually wrapped alcohol swabs. You know, when you go to the doctor and you swab it before you know, get a shot. But I heard that you have to let the alcohol dry or it will mess up the reading if you're diabetic. But I do feel very sorry for diabetics now. They're going to have a hard time. Okay, so let's see. Let me pause the video and come back in just a second. Hey everyone, I'm back. I was so glad that I had a friend come over this weekend and help me do a couple things. He's gone, and so let's see, what else can we talk about? Oh yeah. I have dated a lot of guys who think I'm hooked to my phone like a lot of other women or men. I am not hooked to my phone, people. I had one guy, I believe I've told you all this, who texts me every 5 minutes for 3 months. It was bad. It was really bad. I have never had that kind of person that was so hung up on me. And I'm no longer with him, of course, but I just thought that was insane. And I told him so. I said, listen, after 3 months, you got to give me a break. And he would get mad if I told him that I needed to go back to my home. He took that as a personal rejection. Let me tell you what, no, everybody needs their space. Everybody needs their alone time. And because I'm disabled, I have to store my energy to do the most important things. And then when I come home, I crash. I am not hooked to my phone, and I have to tell people on my Facebook, do not private message me. The odds of me looking at that in a timely manner is 0. I don't like private messenger because, honey, if you respond to it, then people will know your phone number. So it is a very dangerous thing. I'm thinking I'm just going to delete it off my phone. That is a very big security risk. So, yeah, I don't like talking on the phone, and people think I'm odd. Well, I had to run a tree business for 40 years. Some weeks I answered 2,000 phone calls, people, especially during a hurricane or a bad storm. The Freelance Star actually interviewed me during Hurricane Isabel, and I told him that I had blisters on my ear. I had answered 2,000 phone calls easily. So I hate talking on the phone. I despise it. I would rather see somebody in person. Of course, that's not going to happen during this virus thing. But I don't respond to every text, because this is what happened. Guys, what they'll do is they control you through those texts and through those phone calls. They call you, late at night to see if, number one, you're going to answer, or if you're with somebody else. Let me tell you what, 9 times out of 10, I'm exhausted and I don't want to answer the phone. And let me tell you what, there's no law saying I have to answer the phone, people. And everybody should take heed to this. I am not addicted to my phone. It's, and people might take it as a rejection, but people who know me know how to get in touch with me. And they know, a lot of them know that my sleep is extremely important. When you are in severe pain, you've got to get your rest. You've got to get your sleep. And I recently found out from my hip doctor and my back doctor, they had told me 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago that I needed to go to pain management. Well, honey, pain management's not even answering. They're not taking calls. They're not taking any patients. And so I had to call them today, my orthopedic surgeon, and say, listen, I'm in dire straits. I have to work every day, and the pain is going to just kill me. I take the BioFreeze with me. I take the Salon Pass pads that you stick onto yourself. The gabapentin, I hate to take it because it makes you gain weight, but honey, I am taking one at night so I can get a good night's sleep. I'm sleeping well, but on like the 3rd or 4th hour at work, I am beginning to suffer badly. So we'll see if the doctor will respond. I know what he'll say. This is what all the doctors are doing. Oh, go to your GP. Well, My GP is an hour away, and I'm sure he would say, oh, go to your pain management. You see, it's a vicious cycle. Everybody's passing the buck. In the meantime, people are living and learning to live with severe pain. And that is so sad. As you see, I got a salon pass right here. So, I am going to spend this time, any free time I have, in cleaning my windows and organizing my makeup. That is a 3-day extravaganza right there, people. So keep yourself busy, keep your appearance up. Hopefully you've got some hair dye that you've kept for emergencies, and yeah, it's important to keep up your appearances, and because people are going to start getting stir crazy, shit straight crazy. People are going to start having the cabin fever. But anybody who's been disabled for as long as I have, we're used to this. We're used to not having the energy to get up and just go, you know. So I always keep a loaded suitcase in my car, but there's no place to go, people, so I took it out, and I'm going to go through it. Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what, when this lockdown, like I said, our whole town is on lockdown. When this is all over, I'm going to take one hell of a vacation. Yes, I am. All right, love you guys. Please subscribe. Hopefully, since there's nothing else to do, I'll be loading again every day. All right, bye.